My name is Cheryl Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of People for Community Recovery. We are a community-based, grassroots environmental justice organization located in Altgeld Gardens. Our organization is to find solutions to some of the environmental inequities that is in our community that affect the quality of life of residents who live in urban cities that are polluted. We organize around the issue of health, housing, education, and safety. Well, Altgeld Gardens is located on the far south side of Chicago. Altgeld Gardens is unique in its position because it's an area that is isolated from the rest of the city of Chicago, and it was built in the late 1940s for the returned veterans of World War II. So you have to have veteran status in order to live in Altgeld. The areas that we serve is the greater metropolitan areas of the city of Chicago, but we network with organizations locally and nationally. I mean, People for Community Recovery was founded by my mother, Cheryl Johnson, who passed away last year, January 2011. She founded this organization in June of 1979 to challenge some of the infrastructure problems that we have in public housing back in the late 70s, early 80s. Then she heard on television that the south side of Chicago have the higher incidence of cancer than any other area within the city of Chicago. She wanted to know why, because in my community of Altgeld, people have high incidence of cancer, and they just thought it was normal. It was a normal thing just to know a lot of people that have cancer. And she felt that that was abnormal. So she started calling around to different agencies in the city and in Washington, D.C., and she found out that our area is one of the highest environmental problems due to multimedia exposure, air, water, and land. And from the history of it being a dumping ground since 1863. So she labeled our community the toxic donut. It's like the community is in the center of the donut, and outside the parameter of the donut is 50 documented landfills and over 382 pollutant facilities. For one of the things I like about this report, Place Matters for Health in Cook County, it gives validity to some of the struggles that our organizations have been trying to address for for a couple of decades. When you look at the health inequities in our community, it determines what type of community you live in and if your community is going to be polluted or not. And these give all the facts to the reality is where we work, live, and play determines, and if it's poor quality of living, that's how we get cited for the different type of industrial exposures and pollutants and the contamination in our area. You know, we have 18 miles of waterway, 11 miles of it's unfit for human consumption and recreation. Why that have not been addressed? We in a small neighborhood called Maryland Manor. It's outside the Altgeld Garden, and this is an area where people just come arbitrarily and plod the land and grow their vegetables. Because one of the saddest things we have in our community is that we don't have a local grocery store. We have not had a local grocery store within Altgeld Gardens within the past 6 years. Our organization, PCR, worked with Chicago State University Department of Geography with Daniel Block in doing an assessment to determine what is our food sources in our community. And what the analysis from this report shows that people in my community have to travel 3.5-mile radius in order to find wholesome food stores. So that goes to tell you, which label us one of the worst food desert area within the city of Chicago. So when you come to my community, you see no grocery stores, you see no kind of other stores in our community, but two stores, a liquor store and a fast food restaurant. We need quality food store, and in order to change the whole mindset, because we're such a small community, but a large community within itself, is that we need to start having cooperative stores in our community where residents have ownership in the store to be engaged to change the economic status and the food equity that's in our community. Because we know that if we attract any other smaller store in our community, it won't have the livable wages to take care of family. But if we have a sense of ownership in the store, that means that we can develop the store, we can expand the store, that we give it skills in the community, and most importantly, our money will stay in our community. Unfortunately, at the present time, 100% of our funds go outside our community. Nothing stayed in our community. So right now, we can't even visual being a sustainable community until we start having some control over the local economy in our community. Because we're a poor community, and because of what the equity report states, is that where you live do matter. Let's try to change those concepts, and let's do it by community in every region of the country, because I'm sure there's another community like ours that need the help to build itself.